Spela Unnik, vous êtes architecte, enseignante à la faculté d'architecture de l'Université de Ljubljana en Slovénie. Vous travaillez dans la pratique de l'architecture, de la recherche et de la pédagogie depuis plus de 20 ans à l'échelle internationale. On vous doit d'ailleurs la mise en place d'un des tout premiers doctorats dans la discipline de l'architecture en Australie, par exemple. Vous avez été aussi membre du jury des Global Awards pour la Cité de l'architecture. Alors la question que j'aurais envie de vous poser, c'est comment est-ce que, là où souvent l'enseignement de l'architecture en Slovénie est un petit peu traditionnel, comment est-ce que vous abordez ces questions de transmission, ces questions contemporaines qu'on a vues dans le forum à travers votre enseignement?
So, understand. Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I don't speak French. So I will, I hope you will understand English. So it's very important, I could say, because I'm really coming from very traditional school, which has 100 years of tradition. I could explain very quick about three very important turning points. Because at the beginning, when the university was established, it was in 1990, also the architecture department was established as a part of the technical school. And after that, the most important architects was all, let's say, go to Vienna, and it's a huge influence of Wagner School, which was then somehow presented even in Slovenia. And because of that, the Slovenia faculty has an important role as a university in the Central European environment. And it was very devoted, let's say, to the drawing, let's say, cultivating of drawing, as well as the detail and material. This was the main three forces that lead the school. And even after the Second World War, when the Plečnik was, Plečnik was joining this in the 20s, and after that, the Ravnikar, who was also the Plečnik's student, as well as working with Le Corbusier, we become more international. So he brings the modernism in Slovenia with all pedagogical way of thinking, as well as architecture projects and writings and everything. And now we are here where we are. So we are still devoted to all this tradition, let's say, but it's a little bit difficult, because the main point of all this, turning points was the studio. And they all of them teach like the master, and the student was somehow like working together in a team. But the problem is that after that it became more and more the cultivating the cult of personality, which I'm very critical to that. And it's still somehow some of the professors try to cultivate it further on, but I think that we live in totally different environment, and it is more important different topics which we are faced today as a society, contemporary society, as you said. And in our school, the professors have somehow their own way of how to invent or include or integrate all the topics which are somehow evoke in this contemporary world. And I could say my way is, I found out that it's very important that you take off the students from very comfortable environment, and that you travel with them, and that you always somehow expose a problem there, and that they should, in very limited time, organize themselves by questioning locals, collecting materials. So somehow they need to organize themselves to understand what they want to do, and they are very focused. And normally I reach very good results in very short time. But then when come back, it's another issue how to motivate them in this very comfortable environment. Because I think that the generation today, they are not aware very well what's going on. and they are too much connected with the, let's say, internet and with the references which they don't understand absolutely at all, and they don't have
the same problem like Annie was saying about.
Yes, because they have no frame. They even don't have. We have. I could say. I think we have a frame, referential frame, which goes from art to movies to we have the complex world somehow built, and we understand the systems. And now we should teach them only the systems. But on the other hand, when I see the presentation of the first presentation and even what was say on Friday, it's very difficult because I think now we should ask ourselves who will teach whom, you know, because I don't know if I would like to, so what kind of collaboration could be now today if I'm an architect and we always lead the, let's say we always lead the project and we know how to deal with the engineers and everybody, but now it's totally different. So we depend from the science, we depend from technology, we don't understand anymore. We are really in a very tricky situation, if you ask me. So, and it's not easy now to find a way.
Very interesting. Marie-Hélène is going to try to not translate because that would be impossible, but to make a small résumé of what you said. Marie-Hélène va nous résumer en quelque sorte ce qui vient d'être dit en anglais.
Tâche ardue. Donc, je suis là à expliquer l'origine de l'école d'architecture de Ljubljana, qui a une forte influence de l'école de Vienne et Otto Wagner. Et ensuite un personnage très important, Edvard Rauneckar, qui a été élève de Le Corbusier, a introduit le modernisme dans les études d'architecture en Slovénie. Mais finalement, petit à petit, l'enseignement de l'architecture en Slovénie est devenu un petit peu académique, avec une relation de maître à élève très forte. Et aujourd'hui, voilà, Spella se pose la question de comment enseigner l'architecture en sortant de ce modèle-là et comment intégrer les questions contemporaines dans l'enseignement. Et donc, elle, sa stratégie, c'est de sortir ses étudiants de leur zone de confort, comme on dit, en les faisant voyager et en un temps court, en les faisant étudier un territoire, donc des nouveaux modes de vie, modes de construction, modes de réflexion. Et puis, toute la difficulté après, au retour, comment motiver à nouveau ces étudiants qui ont eu une expérience incroyable et qui doivent réintégrer leur quotidien. Et Spella a conclu en disant que finalement, aujourd'hui, face à la complexité du monde, on doit se poser la question de qui apprend quoi à qui, puisque c'est essentiel de travailler avec d'autres disciplines, avec des scientifiques notamment, mais aussi des architectes, des artistes, des sociologues. Bon, j'ai fait de mon mieux, j'espère que ça résume bien son intervention.
C'est brillant, merci beaucoup Marie-Hélène.